What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the grand finals of the MSI Overdrive tournament. We have MSI Evo GT, MSI's namesake, on the Sentinel side versus Apple Park, the Uprising, the hot sharpshooters, who are not yet invited to GST July, I've just found out. So hopefully they'll make it through one of the qualifiers, because they are definitely putting on a show. They just, spoiler alert, they just took down MSI Evo GT in the first match of these grand finals of the MSI Overdrive tournament. And it was not a very pretty game, but Apple Park clearly had a game plan and they stuck with it. So, in convincing fashion, they managed to take down MSI Evo GT. So, hopefully, MSI Evo GT can regain some of their composure. They are definitely a very experienced team, formerly known as XCTN, one of the top Filipino scenes for quite a while, along with Mineski. And they've definitely been able to show more consistency than Mineski as of late. Consistency, rather. So hopefully they'll be able to regain their composure and take down the upstarts in Apple Park, with Apple Park one game away from taking the grand finals of MSI Overdrive. And yes, I'll be bringing you the last two games, unless this game is just so awful. As again, we see spam. Please tell me that the observer slot is in the right spot. Yes, thank God. The observer slot is finally in the right location. Thank you, man. Things like that just make you say, alright, why am I still casting this game? And to be quite honest, if I don't find any high quality games, I think GST July might just be the last Dota 1 replays that I cast for quite a while, because quite honestly the play is just wearing very sloppy, and hopefully we'll see, you know, more regained composure, and hopefully the play styles of other teams will open up. But right now, just seeing a lot of sloppy play. You might be saying, why are you sounding so depressed? Well, I've seen some good games from the Filipino scene, but just constant spamming into all chat in a LAN tournament, just very, very annoying. It does not make for a very pleasant observer experience. But enough of my rant. Hopefully this game will be able to bring back some hype into the Dota 1 match, because MSI GT are on the ropes. They do not want to disappoint their sponsor in this MSI Overdrive tournament. So they banned the Templar Assassin and the Omni Knight. Meanwhile, the Apple Park decided to ban out the Lycan, the Morphling, and the Naga Siren. So what can MSI GT go from here? They can decide to go for a Panda ban, a Chaos Knight ban, things like Windrunner, Earthshaker, Ancient Apparition, Bat, or what other heroes could they could see an Axe ban. We saw an Axe ban last game, not in the first three bans, but still anything is possible. Queen of Pain has not been proving away. I'd rather see a Puck ban, to be quite honest, because Apple Park's Puck pick up an early Dagon and just go sort of pretty much bad shit on all your heroes. Just a lot of burst damage coming out in the form of the Puck. Able to get very easy solo ganks, and then able to farm his way to a Blink Dagger. Apple Park Puck just use that short cooldown Dream Call to great advantage once they pick up a Dagon, and Puck is not usually a hero who can pick up a lot of solo kills, as MSI UGT decide to ban out the Queen of Pain rather. So we'll see if Apple Park decide to hold on to the Fairy Dragon with their first pick. I doubt it. He's not really a first pick worthy hero in the Filipino eyes, but still, it wouldn't be surprising to see him just because they made great use of him. And Apple Park have also shown great success with Shadow Fiend, Centaur, unconventional heroes that we do not see very often, even in Dota 1 these days. So we'll see what Apple Park decide to go from here. There's a lot of time left on their bans and picks, so their first pick could mean a lot in terms of strategy. Maybe they'll just mask it with the Windrunner. Maybe they'll go for a Panda, but Panda, like Queen of Pain, as of late, has just not been very effective in these games, just because the Filipinos like to pick extremely mobile heroes, as we see an Earthshaker opening up, which indicates a clear Ancient Apparition pick being picked up as well. But in that combination, actually that combination's, it's not really been losing as of late. It's pretty stable these days. I think I see Earthshaker and Ancient Apparition winning these times as of late, but MSI VGT could not make that combination work very well, as they pick up the Dragonite and the Fairy Dragon with their first two picks, saying Apple Park, ha ha ha, we got your Fairy Dragon, what are you going to do about it? And I do not expect MSI to pick up the Dagon very early on with the Puck, unless they say, oh, we've been watching your replays, Apple Park, we see what Dagon's doing for you, getting off these solo ganks across the map, making it hard for poor old B-Ball to watch on the mini-map because he's a bad observer. But we'll see if Puck can be effective in solo ganks with Dragonite, a very strong opening pickup. Gonna go for that fast Lothar's Edge bottle. Probably not Hand of Mice unless he gets a lot of very early on effectiveness. But there are still a lot of heroes in hero pool. Heroes like Windrunner, Ancient Apparition, and you all know my thoughts on Windrunner, annoying hero. I wish she'd get nerfed, because we've seen her for the past 2.5 years, and she needs a nerf, because very annoying hero. Too versatile. Also, Invoker is in the hero pool as well. I do not see the Filipinos pick up Invoker these days, but still, Apple Park must be thinking long and hard about picking Invoker, but they decided to go for a Beastmaster, and a Rubik as well. So what will MSI UGT decide to pick up? They go for the Shao Demon, and I don't expect them to go for either team to go for Invoker class. I expect them to be banned in this next round, or just not banned or picked at all, because hey, they already have their lane set. They have their Dragonite in the mid solo lane, they have the Puck in the top solo lane, and meanwhile, I mean, MSI have either, or Apple Park have either a solo mid Rubik, which they have been known to do on occasion. Um, they also have a solo Beastmaster that they could employ. Beastmaster might also just solo the top lane against the Fairy Dragon. Earthshaker, of course, neutral, and I see a Winner being banned. Winner, pretty strong support hero. I do not think MSI would have picked him up regardless. But still, that ban is better than others. Will MSI decide to ban out heroes that Apple Park like to use? Looks like not yet, because they decided to ban out the Darkseer. And looks like they're thinking about a CK ban. Centaur CK Slaughter. Looks like they have looked up on their research on Apple Park. They played a really, really nice CK in the last game against Bad Burn, and really used it very effectively in their victory over the seasoned veterans and probably the hottest team in the Filipinos Dota 1 scene, Bad Burn. So probably respect that CK, but still Apple Park have a lot of time. They can ban out one of MSI's trademark heroes. So they ban out, what will MSI decide to go for? They still have 2 heroes left in the trial that they could employ. They do not have a very strong roamer. They decide to ban out the Sand King. Sand King, of course, I do not think the Filipinos use him well at all. Pretty much because he's not the primary farmer in the trial, and pretty much because they decide to roam with him, so he doesn't pick up the levels. That's my honest personal opinion. Feel free to disagree or to agree with me. Either way, that's my personal opinion. I'm going to stick by it, but Sand King, I do not think is worthy of a ban in the Filipino scene. And I'm surprised heroes like Broodmother do not see more attention. The Filipinos managed to gank heroes like Lone Druid, like Broodmother, heroes who just stay in the lane very, very effectively and really keep them down for the most part. So credit to them, they definitely eliminated heroes like Broodmother, like Lone Druid from the pool, where we see them dominate in so often the European and the Chinese Dota 1 and Dota 2 scene. So they definitely have confidence in facing those heroes, which is why we don't see them banned or picked at all these days in these Dota 1 matches. So just now we're going to see what Apple Park will decide to go for. Will they go for one of their niche heroes? They go for the Centaur, the Tri-Lane Dominator. So Apple Park going to employ an Earthshaker, Rubik, Centaur, Tri-Lane. I expect that Tri-Lane to succeed very, very nicely. They do not have too much range harassment. They just have the Rubik, who's a pretty squishy hero. So they got to be pretty careful on with the first 2 levels until Centaur picks up a high enough level double edge, and then they go off the offensive. Of course, the fissure block and long range telekinesis can position the hero very, very effectively in range of the hoof stomp and then the double edge. So whatever lane the MSI team has to employ, that has to be survival. They have to have a lot of range. I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick up 2 range heroes to help them out in their tri lane, just so that they won't get hurt by the Centaur or the Earthshaker as badly, and just so they can harass the Centaur back enough so that you won't be in position to land a hoof stomp or a double edge should the initiation come through. That's at least my prediction at the very least. Surprised no Ancient Apparition being picked up yet, and we see a Weaver being picked up, a very mobile, very survival hero. So I like this pick up a lot by the MSI squad. And what will Apple Park do? They still need a solo hero. Beastmaster most likely solo top. So we see the Apple Park trademark Shadow Fiend. Beastmaster could solo mid, but these days he's been very effective soloing the sidelines, because in Dota 2 he stacks the Ancients, of course, over here, and manages to wipe out entire stacks of Ancients with axes over time. Or we might see him solo mid traditionally, but still, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Shadow Fiend being picked up. And yes, we do see a Shadow Fiend by Apple Park. And this is the lineup that they hope for. I mean, Shadow Fiend, Centaur, 2 of their trademark heroes, along with Rubik, who they've just employed very, very masterfully. So, MSI Evo, I don't know, I haven't seen them pick up Weaver or Dragonite very often. I haven't seen too many other games recently. And keep in mind, this is a team that cannot be underestimated. They won 2 consecutive GEST titles before not taking the last GST. Of course, Bad Burn took that title. And they pick up a Thrall the Disruptor pickup for their last hero in the tri-lane. And I like to see how they have a lot of range, they have a lot of stability, and of course the kinetic ability just so useful in terms of keeping back the melee heroes like the Centaur and the Earthshaker. So I'm liking they're not picking heroes that they like, they're picking up heroes that would do well against the opposing team's tri-lane, which is where a lot of the damage will come from. So right now, I'm liking how MSI UGT approached the pick phase, and right now, hopefully the spam will go away, because all chat spam is very, very annoying, and I mean, it just messes up the screen. Like you saw the spam in the all chat before the first blood happened in the last game. So hopefully the all chat spam will go away as time goes on. Introducing the players and teams. I should just do this more often. We have K1 Mo playing the Thrall. We have Tak playing the Shadow Demon. You have Ara playing the Dragon Knight. Doc playing the Puck, and NAEJ or Nage playing the Weaver. Meanwhile, KMS playing the Earthshaker. Cao playing the Beastmaster. Lord Chan playing the Shadow Fiend, playing the Centaur, and Agent Y, the support player, playing the Rubik. So right now, looks like Puck is going to face this tri-lane, and Puck's going to have to stay careful. Puck can handle himself reasonably well against this tri-lane. He's going to have to be careful of the Fissure and Telekinesis trap, but still Phase Shift and the Illusory Orb should be enough in terms of keeping him alive, as long as he just stays the heck back. Meanwhile, Beastmaster in the lane will have no success, facing 3 ranged heroes. I feel for this Beastmaster already. Will he go for the ancient stacking, like we see so often in Dota 2, or will he just go for the fast Bottle Crow? But still, Beastmaster, if the Apple Park team plays their cards right, they might switch up the tri-lane to go help out the Puck, or might do a roaming Thrall as you see pick up some double damage and just going to provide a bit of harassment for the Nevermore, as Earthshaker is going to come in for some Fissure blocks, but still Nevermore is going to have a difficult time up against this lane until it's level 4, I'd say, just because Dragon Knight and the support Thrall, as we're going to see a lot of roaming very early on, and meanwhile Puck's getting harassed quite heavily by the Rubik. Meanwhile, Beastmaster up against Weaver, looks like Shadow Demon staying the heck back just to farm up, but now he's going to get in the lane saying, okay, Beastmaster, you don't have a chance this lane, just stay back, go stack Ancients if you want. But right now I'm just going to send a lot of Disruption Illusions at you, and hopefully you won't be able to gain any experience. Right now, Dragon Knight Thrall lane duel against Earthshaker Shadow Fiend, and Shadow Fiend 0-0 this early on. Meanwhile, Dragon Knight 6-1, taking advantage of his free farm nicely, and Shadow Fiend is yet to pick up a soul. So hopefully he'll be able to do that very, very soon. Still level 1. And right now he's not been able to get in range of those creeps. Earthshaker just saying, okay, I have fissures. I'm not going to do damage to you guys, but I'm going to keep you separated. Ooh, you guys are scared now. Meanwhile, we were going to cast a Storm along with Disruption. Beastmaster's 2 CS, level 2. But meanwhile, I do not expect him to receive too much farm in this lane. Should Shadow Demon play a bit more aggressively and just keep the Beastmaster back, or he might just go for experience and take some of the creep kills and stack the pulls. So you see, the all Disruptors have satisfied that, okay, Nevermore is eventually going to get his souls up, but I managed to keep him back long enough so DK could pick up his bottle and be on his merry way. So now Thrall the Disruptor, along with Shadow Fiend, should be able to keep the Beastmaster by themselves. Thrall dropping a very nice Observer Ward, keeping lane vision up at all times. Call of the Wild was the skill being picked up rather than any Beast, recognizing that, okay, Unified level for Even Beast, my lane will push, but I still won't be able to pick up farm. Might as well have the Hawk and the Boar leveled up. And if I use the Boar to stack the Ancients, that's a very strong strategy. I wonder if Beastmaster Ancient stacking works differently, or the axes react differently in the Ancient stacks than they do in Dota 1. I know it does for the Tinker and neutral camps behave differently in Dota 2 rather than Dota 1. Meanwhile, Centaur 15-2, and Puck is just forced to stay the heck away. Still no kills just yet, which is pretty surprising. Puck gonna pull some middle lane creeps, or pull one middle lane creep to be quite honest. Still level 1, has not picked up a point of experience, so Centaur gonna have a lot of free farm in this top lane. Is going to try to last hit every single creep, which he should do, and already almost 20 CS by the 3 minute mark, pretty much last hitting all the creeps that have come his way, along with some neutrals. Meanwhile, Beastmaster having a similarly rough time, but at least he's almost level 3, so that's better than nothing. Shadow Fiend going to usher away the DK because the Earthshaker is roaming in, Earthshaker dropping the Fissure, but of course MSI team, they have wards up on the map, they're going to protect their middle lane. And just because it's a very slow-paced game at the moment, as Beastmaster is going to go into the jungle and start wild axe farming. Let's see what are my predictions for the mid to late game. Well, Shadow Fiend's a hero who, although is a mid-game carry, he scales extremely well into the late game. We see Apple Park, Shadow Fiend just performing beautifully, picks up a Lothar's Edge, then of course goes to standard carry items, BKB, Butterfly, Helm of the Dominator, and he can handle himself very well. But still, that requires he doesn't get ganked, And right now, I think since Centaur is free farming, Apple Park, they look in pretty good shape. Of course, Weaver, I think, outcarries the Shalfine and Centaur. It's hard to nail down a Weaver, especially picks up items like Lincoln Sphere. And his MSI GT are definitely learning from mistakes of doing an early tier 1 push on the bottom lane. Will Apple Park respond in kind against this top tier 1? Puck is almost close to level 3, so the Illusory Orb will do more damage. So he'll be able to clear the creep waves more easily, but still he has to back away from the Earthshaker and the Telekinesis of the Rubik. You do not want to give Centaur any additional farm, because he's already free farming it up. Meanwhile, Beastmaster does get disrupted, Soul Catcher being casted, along with the Storm going to latch onto the Beastmaster. Beastmaster will surely die the first blood, Glimpse being casted for the lows as TAK, the Shadow Demon, managed to pick up the first blood, going to upgrade the couriers, and going to be able to pick up some wards. And already, MSI playing a lot better, just a lot better. They're picked a lot better, picked up heroes that could counter potential Tryon against Tryon action, and picked up heroes that just match up very well against the Apple Park squad, and they're definitely showing the results of the experience. So I like what MSI UGT are doing a lot more in this game, and they're applying a lot of pressure on this tier 2 tower as well. And just now, the Centaur managed to last hit this tier 1 tower. Will Apple Park keep pushing in? Well, it's going to come down to the Shalfine against the DK. Shalfine has 25 and 9 CS. You know, DK running around too fast when you see 22 and 1. So Shalfine's just performed very nicely after that initial harassment by the Thrall, and he's winning the lane as he should be. You know, Centaur and Earthshaker are going to start their roam party, and it looks like MSI are going to just back up, saying, okay, we've got a pretty nice farming pocket, we'll just farm here rather than going for an all-out aggressive push, and we're going to decide to protect our Dragonite, and I again have to agree with this decision. So overall, decision making has been a lot better in this game by MSI UGT, and I'm happy to see this. Hopefully we'll see a much cleaner game, as Earthshaker is going to farm up, and you might say 1-0, this is very boring. Still, I think we see enough Filipinos diving in and out, just mad aggression all over the place, that we can say, okay, we'll see a cleaner game. And right now, MSI Evo GT playing much more solidly, in my honest opinion. Unfortunately, their Weaver is not farming as well as he probably should be, but hey, he's keeping back the Beastmaster. Already picked up a Perseverance, and he's going to go for the very early Lincoln Sphere. And with that survivability, there's not really too much initiation on the part of the Scourge squad to keep him down. Fissure, of course, will get blocked. Telekinesis will be ignored by that Lincoln Sphere, and it'll just give him a lot of mana to spam the rest of his spells and give him a lot of survivability that he's lacking. So Weaver just looking a-okay, to be quite honest, and it's going to come down to how much experience this Thrall will get. Thrall, a hero who scales very, very well with a lot of experience, and it's very puzzling for me at times that we don't see more mid-lane Thralls. Instead we see semi-carries like DK and Queen of Pain and Beastmaster in the mid lane. And it's puzzling to me because although Thrall is a strong mid lane hero, he has a nuke that can hit an AoE in the form of the Thunder Strike. He has a Kinetic Field that can trap 3 heroes at a time, as Rubik's just saying, I'm just going to be a voyeur and keep an eye out on your DK. As looks like they might get initiation. Oh no, here comes the Telekinesis along with the Fissure Trap. He's going to stun the Earthshaker. Will there be a glimpse of Centaur coming in from the rear? But Centaur is blocked away from the Fissure as Thrall with the Kinetic Field, and Rubik might be the first one to fall. A little bit of a sloppy engagement by Apple Park, but clearly they were not expecting the Earthshaker to just mistime his stun. A little bit of misplay by the Earthshaker as he got stunned by the Dragonite, and he dropped the stun, blocking the Centaur away from the Dragonite, so Centaur could not get a kill. And Centaur at 45 and 5 CS, going to be able to pick up very fast Vanguard, one for the early phase boots, as they're going to apply a bit of pressure, but Weaver should not die. He senses something's up. There was a Observer spying the movement of the Centaur from one lane to the other, and now Weaver is just dancing in and out of the Centaur Age. Here comes the disruption. Will there be a Kinetic Field to follow? Not much mana, so they're just going to drop the Thunder Strike. A nice move, knowing that Centaur is already ridiculously tanky, and Weaver does not do too much damage this early on. 2-0 in favor of MSI, and right now they're looking in decent shape. Of course, Shalfine has not died in any of these engagements. Went for the standard Bracer build that Apple Park Shalfines like to get, and now he's just Raze farming it up. Might go for the neutrals just to keep up his farm, picked up the strength traits, and now he's going to go to build into the Lothar's Edge and then the BKB. Meanwhile, Puck, how is he doing? He's picked up the Magic Wand and the bottle. He has not died. Not that initial trial and harassment. He's just looking in decent shape, to be quite honest, as Apple Park realizing, okay, things are going a little bit too slowly for our regard. I don't think we match up very well against a Dragonite and a Weaver in the late game, so we'll decide to push some towers. So already the decision making by both teams are definitely much improved, or at least MSI's decision making is a lot improved, and Apple Park realized, alright, we did not match up well, let's not run around and just roam with our supports, not giving them an experience. Let's get them some gold. Gold is nice. We should pick up some gold and give them to our supports and get them some items so they can be more effective in the mid game. But meanwhile, Puck is pushing the waves all the while. Looks like Beastmaster is going to teleport in. And, oh man, I'm so used to not having the observer now. It's such a relief to know that you can see the observer slot, and I'll keep my eye on the minimap for any potential action, as looks like the minimap indicates that there's not much action, but looks like there might be a gank on Beastmaster. But right now you can see all the CS. Centaur farming extremely well with 51 CS, Shadow Fiend 50 CS, meanwhile Dragon Knight 45 and Weaver 45. So Apple Park slightly out farming, but they've also picked up an additional tower to... No, actually the tower count is completely even. No, they picked up an additional tower, sorry. As looks like there's going to be a gank. Shadow Soul Catcher did not manage to latch. No, it did manage to latch on the Beastmaster. Drops the Roar just for the damage on the Puck. But unfortunately, it will be cooling down for the next 75 seconds. So I do not think that was an appropriate use of Roar because Beastmaster will not have it up for the next engagement should there be one. So we're going to see yet another tower trade on the back of the strong creep clearing abilities by the Shadow Fiend and the Centaur. Meanwhile, looks like MSI want to pick off the top tier 1 tower, which they will with ease. And looking at the levels, we can see level advantage is going in favor of the MSI squad. Earthshake and Rubik are not farming very well, not getting too much experience. They're getting a lot of gold in the form of these tower pushes, but still not a lot of experience. And Earthshaker doesn't need too much experience, but Rubik definitely needs some. He needs to get a decent level of the null field so he can protect his teammates with the magical resistance, max that Fade Bolt, get them high level of the telekinesis. And just to go back to my Thrall point, which I'm honestly quite puzzled, and I think this is the reason why we don't see too much Thrall success in the Dota 1 scene. And I hope that we'll see more Thrall as he gets introduced in Captain's Mode as time goes on. Because he's definitely a very interesting hero. A hero that I feel like is definitely underestimated. Because Kinetic Field, in theory, come out with Static Storm just dishes out way too much damage. Should it latch for the full duration. But I do not think Thrall's strength lies in the Trident, even though he has the Thunderstrike with the AoE. And here's why. You want a max level Kinetic Field just so you can take full advantage of the Static Storm. And you want a max level Thunderstrike because it's your primary nuke, it does a lot of damage. You can hit people in AoE if you're if the enemy you're targeting just decides, hey, I want to share the love of the Thunder. But more importantly, you want to get a good level of Glimpse because Thrall is a beastly anti-chaser / chaser. He just destroys ganks, destroys any incoming TPs, and Glimpse is a skill that you do not want to level up until you have to get 1 point early on. But still, you do not want to level it up till max until you have your other skills maxed. And I think Glimpse is pretty much the hero that screws up all the potential chasing, as we're going to see a gank. Weaver gets the time lapse off, and now here comes the Static Storm with the Kinetic Field. Centaur is going to be in a lot of trouble, taking a ridiculous amount of damage from the Static Storm as TK1MO. Man, these names. Too many sponsors. Thrall picks up the kill on the Beastmaster. So nicely done. But yeah, Glimpse is the spell you want to be leveling up because it's a spell that you're not going to be leveling up. And the decreased cooldown, the ridiculous cast range that it gets as you level it up is just too good to ignore. As right now it's 4-0 in favor of MSI UOGT. They're playing the game to their pace. And right now they're making full advantage of it. Weaver farming up pretty much unimpeded and just sticking out the farm. I mean, slowly but surely, Weaver is outfarming the Shadow Fiend, outfarming the Centaur, DK outfarming, gonna go for the Lothar's Edge very, very soon. And is there a bit of an engagement? I cannot see. No, looks like that was pink rather than orange. My eyes are deceiving me. Shadow Fiend gonna skip the Lothar's Edge, gonna go for straight BKB. I like this choice. A lot of magical spells, and only Demonic Purge goes through the BKB on the side of the Sentinel. Meanwhile, physical damage won't be too big of an issue, but if you pick up a BKB after the Lothar's Edge, of course the physical damage of the Sentinel squad will start to get to you. Meanwhile, we'll just see Thrall has Arcane Boots and Bracelet, so he's firing reasonably well for support. And he's been involved in every single kill, so he's picked up a hefty amount of assist gold. Meanwhile, Puck, how you doing, buddy? He's not. I do not think he's going to go for the Dagon. Picked up the Phase Boots along with the Bracer and the Bottle. But still, too early to tell. If he picks the Staff of Wizardry now, he'll go for the Dagon. If not, then he'll just go for straight Blink Dagger. I think Blink Dagger just secure advantage, get a lot of initiation. Hold heroes like the Centaur and the Shadow Fiend in place, along with the Earthshaker. And Earthshaker is still level 4. Rubik's still level 5. Meanwhile, every hero is above level 6 or above on the side of the Sentinel team. And right now, Apple Park, they're sort of stuck because they can't really move out. Heroes like Thrall with the Glimpse and Kinetic Field, heroes like Puck who just take advantage of mobility, and I mean, Puck has just become, he's just proven his weight in gold. He's worth his weight in gold with all these picks. He's just such a strong hero in all these games. Dream Kill much more effective early on rather than an ultimate like Sonic Wave, because it holds people in place, which is oh so important. So what will Alba Park decide to do? They're not down by too much. Heroes like Xiaofeng can definitely man it out mano y mano against a hero like Dragonite. But against Dragonite and Weaver, meanwhile Centaur, I didn't check out his gold very quickly. 800 gold away from finishing that Blink Dagger. With a finish the Magic Wand, not really necessary, but you could do it anyway. But still, he's pretty close to picking up the Blink Dagger. And once Centaur picks up the Blink Dagger, I expect Alba Park to be a bit more aggressive. Meanwhile, Beastmaster going with the Mechanism build, I like this choice, knowing that you're farming decently, better than most of the heroes on your team, and you're going to be tanky enough to stand in the midst of battles as long as you don't get initiated on. So, since the other supports have no levels to speak of, no farm to speak of, and you've got a lot of tower gold, we'll go for a Mechanism, but that might not help, as Dream Coil going to be casted, going to drop the axes, Static Storm being popped as well. So Beastmaster did not need enough time to pop the Mechanism and just died in an instant by the ridiculous damaging power of the Sentinel squad. And now MSI Evo GT, they're looking in top shape. This is the team we saw as they took back-to-back GST titles. Meanwhile, Rubik goes in. It's hit level 6 in the past minute and a half. So nice job by Rubik. Unfortunately, Earthshaker is still not close to level 6. Barely even level 5 to be brutally honest. So the supports of the Alba Park squad are suffering deeply. Meanwhile, Weaver has picked up a Lincoln Sphere. Weaver is not even the most dangerous hero yet, but if you leave him alone, he will be. And now it's going to be pretty much impossible to gank with these weak supports. And he's just farming it up, and I think he'll continue farming it up until the MSI squad decide to push. Because there's really no need for you to get into any engagements as a Weaver with the Lincoln Sphere. You can just keep farming up, farm on up uninterrupted. You can get into engagements, but you know your team's not really seeking them out actively. As Puck is probably setting up for the Blink Daggers, farming very, very nicely. Meanwhile, Thrall getting a lot of experience. I like this decision. Thrall just gets so powerful with levels. So even if DK takes the farm, Thrall doesn't need too much farm. He just needs a bit of mana, which he has in the form of Arcane Boots and the Bracer. His spells are pretty long cooldown. He just needs a big mana pool. And you know what they say about big mana pools? It means you can cast more spells. What else do you think I was going to say? God, get your head out of the gutters, guys. Seriously. As BKB is picked up by the Xiaofeng, you'll be able to initiate more aggressively with these ganks. Will Sentinel decide to gank this? Beastmaster is playing very aggressively, not close to level 1 at all. But no, MSI just content to farm up. And you can't really blame them. DK already has the Ogre Axe, going to go for BKB himself. Meanwhile, Weaver just able to farm all across the map. Not farming very effectively. I think he was at 82 the last time I checked him. Now he's at 87. So, buddy, you might want to work on your last hitting. But still, Weaver's base damage not very high. So I can understand. But still, you can farm, which is what matters. He's just not choosing to last hit every single creep. And he's just too cool for that to be, I guess. As Swarm, of course, hurting the creeps. Nice job by the Weaver, taking advantage of the fact that Swarm, ridiculous cast range, 3,000, with a ridiculous AoE. I think the AoE is 900, or something like that. It's like at least that, and I don't know if that AoE is 900, maybe it's like 700. But still, 3,000 range with the ridiculous AoE, so I can farm multiple creep camps at the same time, and reduce their armor all the while. Meanwhile, Xiaofeng is going to go for the Lothar's Edge next. It's going to come down to the Xiaofeng, because Centaur is not going to become very useful. He's not very useful against Weaver just because Weaver, you know, has a lot of ways to escape the Centaur. Centaur has to be up in your face. Meanwhile, Weaver is all about getting out of that face as soon as possible. He's picked up Blink Dagger, 9 charges on the Magic Stick, but he's going to run out of mana very, very quickly. Only has enough mana for a Blink In and a Stomp, and maybe one more Blink In to chase, rather than another Stomp. And looks like Alba Park getting a little impatient, 5-0 in favor of MSI Evo GT in 18 minutes. Not a Pinoy game, as Puck has a Blink Dagger. He's going to be able to blink out. You know, he just drops a Dream Coil. Looks like really picked up a Dream Coil for himself, but he already used it. Now it's on cooldown for the next 70 seconds or so. Well, 85-second cooldown, so it'll be on cooldown for the next 70 seconds, so now. But right now they could not gank the Puck, which is probably the hero you'd least likely want to gank. But they did not use too many ultimates, so no big loss. They just want to get the map control and they want to keep the Weaver down, but unfortunately, Xiaofeng cannot do that by himself, as now he's going to try to duke it out mano a mano versus this Weaver, and then he realizes I may be a giant demon of shadows, or a fiend of shadows. I'm no match for this wimpy little scarab. Looks like MSI Evo GT smoking up. Will they decide to get a gank off? Drum's going to be the next item for the Thrall, as Dragonite pretty close to his BKB, I imagine. Yep, pretty close indeed. About 14 to go away from finishing that BKB if it's in the recipe or the hammer is not being delivered to him already. Meanwhile, Weaver, tell me you have 100 CS. Yes, he's finally been able to last hit 100 CS by the 20-minute mark. He should have a bit more, around 120. But still, 100 by 20 minutes is what you want to aim for. And he's going to get pretty close to like 110. Pretty close to 115 by the 20-minute mark, so still he's firing very, very nicely. Gonna have well over 5 CS a minute, almost 6 CS a minute. And this phase of the game just suits MSI to a T. And this game, although it might be boring, it's definitely a more cleaner game. We definitely see what the teams are thinking. I mean, Centaur picked up Blink Dagger, Xiaofeng, it might be going for Ulthars. They're gonna go for smoke ganks. But heroes like Weaver, who like Puck, are just so mobile. Meanwhile, they're constantly keeping an eye on DK, who's the least mobile carry, with heroes like Thrall and the Shadow Demon. So I think MSI are just playing this out absolutely perfectly. I mean, they could be a bit more aggressive. They could have picked off this tier 2 tower, but they didn't really need to. They gave Weaver a nice farming pocket, and I guess that worked out in the long run. Meanwhile, Owl Park, I don't know if they're used to this. I think they're more used to playing out all-out scramble styles against fellow Filipino teams. And they're not really used to playing a sort of a turtle-heavy style, a very careful, a very deliberate style, as we're going to see some Centaur action going on. Fratricide, how could you do that? That Centaur trusted you. You are its war chief. What'd you do? You just betrayed him, you motherfucker. But yeah, I haven't honestly watched enough Apple Park replays. I mean, the only replays I've watched are these past 2 games and the one against Badburn, where they've been able to match up very well against a very aggressive style against Filipino teams. But when I guess they really need the puck. So if you don't give them puck, I don't know if Apple Park is as strong as they usually are. Meanwhile, Rubik's still level 6. The levels are starting to become a bigger and bigger issue. They're just going to melt to these late game carries. Dragonite level 13. Gonna get dangerous close to level 16. Pretty close to BKB as Beastarter pokes his head in. Will he get the roar off? No. Lothar's Edge. Any detection up by the Scourge Squad? No. And now they're in a bit of trouble. I'm not really too sure what they can do. They're gonna have to really... It's gonna come down to this Xiaofeng and hope that he just completely outcarries. And I've definitely seen games where Xiaofeng outcarries heroes like Dusa in some Chinese or European games. Heroes like Spectre, if possible. Only when he gets maxed out though. Only when he picks up a Satanic, Butterfly, things like that, because that minus armor does really make a factor, which is pretty significant. But I don't know. He doesn't have the items necessary to do that at the moment. He has Lothar's Edge and BKB, which will let him survive, let him farm much easier. Well, we'll be able to pop that ultimate for an easy initiation if he wants to, but it won't really help him out in terms of right-clicking 1 versus 1. Super turbo style in that matchup. Meanwhile, Centaur just hit level 10, not even picking up level 2 with great fortitude. And they've just been pressured in all areas of the map. Warding and counter warding being dropped by SIWGT, and this is a style that I'm not used to seeing from Filipino scene, but hey, this style that works. Meanwhile, they're gonna get initiation on Earthshaker, gonna pop the ultimate. Rubik comes in just to say, hi, I'm here. You should come kill me too. But Puck unfortunately could not get the way as Rubik has the haste rune. Will they go for the tower? Here comes Xiaofeng and the Centaur, gonna get the blink stun off on the Dragonite. Here comes the Requiem of Soul, is gonna immediately one-shot that DK. So trading a Earthshaker for a DK, a trade that Apple Park will gladly take at this point in the game. But say, I think MSI GT, if they want to, they could have taken that fight. But I just like, why risk it? We'll wait till our Weaver gets some more damage. And Weaver has the Relic. And much like the traditional Filipino build, he hasn't picked up the boots. And once he picks up Radiance, I do not see, honestly, a way that Apple Park can fight very, very effectively. Unless they pick up this Roshan and give it to Xiaofeng. Will MSI GT respond with a counterattack? Dragonite will be dead for the next 20 seconds. So now is as good a time as ever. And can they kill the Roshan? They do not have much physical damage. They have a lot of auras in the form of Beastmaster, although you leveled up the Hawk, level 2 enemy beast with a max level of the presence of the Dark Lord. But Weir is going to cast the Scarabs. Will the MSI UGT decide to wander in? Fidget are going to block off for a couple of seconds. But the Roshan's going to get those perma bashes. Puck comes in with the Blinking Waning Rift and the Dream Coil, catching 2 heroes. Meanwhile, Stagstorm being dropped just on the Beastmaster, unable for him to cast any sort of waves. Xiaofin's going to teleport out. He does manage to escape, but now the Scourge are going to have to scramble out of the way. Dragonite's going to reinforce the team, and now Roshan very, very dangerously low. Will MSI UGT take it? Looks like the yellow, which is the Puck, killed Earthshaker in the midst of all that. Earthshaker just not having a good time at all. And MSI just like, hey, thanks for lowering the HP of the Roshan. We'll take it now. And we'll give it to our Dragonite. It was ridiculously hard to bring down as it is. We were going to have his Radiance up in a matter of moments. So, although I think that was a good plan by Apple Park, I think they might have underestimated their damage output. I think they were planning on, okay, we have level 2 Inner Beast, we have max level presence of the Dark Lord. At least he should have max level presence of the Dark Lord. I'm going to have to look at some creeps to see if the Xiaofin skilled stats. Rather than that, no, I think he has max level presence of the Dark Lord. But they were counting on some more damage, but still their supports and their heroes not doing too much. Presence of the Dark Lord. Yes, it is maxed. And it was just getting out of Xiaofin, and Xiaofin's getting bashed. He's not going to have a good time. Meanwhile, Requiem Souls is on cooldown. We were just going to rush away. Still no Radiance, but he's going to pick it up very, very soon. Meanwhile, Puck's going to teleport back, and they're just going to tend to farm it up. So right now, the map, movement, and just the presence of mind by MSI UGT, this just looks like a completely different team, to be brutally honest. And I guess they played a bit more aggressively. They wanted to take an early win with that mid-game up in Game 1. But now they recognize Apple Park, they're not a team to be fucked with. They beat Badburn, they beat us handily in Game 1. We should play very seriously, very carefully, very deliberate. We'll play them at a style that they're not used to be playing, as the Dragonite might get ganked. Here goes the Centaur Stomp. Will they get Roar? Will they get some TPs, reinforcements? No, looks like Dragonite just may be left for the fishes. Any Sentry Wards or Dust of Appearance being dropped? No Sentry Wards or Dust. Dragonite has Lothars. Okay, guys. Well, they used the Aegis and they wasted BKB charge, so that's something, and all they used was a Roar. So still overall favorable engagement for Apple Park. And they're doing everything in their power to get themselves back in the game, but I think they might have left their supports down too much. In that they didn't give them enough farm, and they're going to be pretty much fodder to this Dragonite and the Weaver. Dragonite going to be closing in on that level 16 in a level and a bit. Meanwhile, let's check out the farms and the items really fast. Over 100 for the Puck, 140 for the Weaver, 100 for the DK. Meanwhile, only Xiaofin has over 100. Beastmaster, not even 70. Centaur, not even 100. Meanwhile, Thrall is level 9, but still he has Drums, Arcane Boots. He has pretty much all he needs, as there's going to be an engagement on the bottom lane. Can they kill the Puck? A couple more right clicks. No, Puck manages to escape just barely. Beastmaster level 11, Xiaofin level 17, by far the highest level here in the game, but Xiaofin cannot win this game alone, apparently. Lord Chan doing everything in his power to get the kill. He's going to go for the Manta style next. Going to give him survivability and damage, along with some additional move speed. But will it be enough? Xiaofin just stopped canceling his ultimates. There is a Sentry Ward, trying to bait Dragonite to go for the initiation. Like they have been going for through all that. As there's going to be Blink Dagger, Puck, Dream Coil catches 4 heroes, beautifully done. Here comes the Stagstorm and the Kinetic Field, trapping 2 heroes, doing a ridiculous amount of damage. As just Apple Park is crumbling. They're going to be able to kill the Rubik as well. Earthshaker managed to teleport out. Meanwhile, it looks like Centaur is going to allow the minus R, or the Swarm, just continuously doing ticks of damage, and he won't be able to escape with the Blink Dagger. Now Weaver's on his ass. Beautiful engagement being taken by MSI UGT, making full advantage of their Blink Dagger, Puck, Initiation, and the Stagstorm. Thrall and Puck just synergize so well. I'm surprised you don't see that combination more often. But Dream Coil and, I mean, Thrall just synergize beautifully, to be quite honest. It brings a tear to my eyes. Meanwhile, Earthshaker dies. He's like, I didn't die in that last team fight. I want to join my fellow comrades in arms. As 12-1, unexpected, considering the domination that Apple Park's been showing in this tournament. But still, 12-1, MSI UGT just had their number in this game, and this is definitely going to give Apple Park some time to pause and say, Alright guys, this is style we haven't faced before. We didn't get our puck, but we managed to get our Shalfin and our Centaur and our Rubik nonetheless. How do we deal with this like aggressive turtle style with just all these maneuvering, as we're going to see a gank off by the DK. DK is definitely going to take the volley. Possibly BKB, and the Lothar's Edge, still no detection as Tanae managed to pick up a kill, and Shalfin takes the fall nonetheless. Static Storm just constantly disabling the Earthshaker. He's trying to rush in for the Echo Slam, just managed to escape, drops it on nothing, and now Earthshaker just took too much damage. Earthshaker is going to take the fall, and I expect GG to be called shortly. 16-1, 16-2 rather, in favor of the MSI Evo GT squad, and I do not see a way for them to come back. I expect the GGs to be coming in shortly, because there is no way in heck that the Apple Park squad can come back from too big of a deficit, especially since Shalfin has died multiple times. He's not going to have too much room to breathe to farm up his soul. So MSI UVGT going to go for the finishing blow and throw his ultimate has a pretty short cooldown. I think it's like 70 seconds. Or maybe it was 70 seconds initially. It might be like 100 seconds now. But Weaver and DK becoming much too difficult to deal with. But DK is dead. So he's pretty easy to deal with right now because he's dead. Because you don't have to deal with him. But Weaver just becoming oh so annoying to deal with. And looks like Puck's just going to teleport back, get some mana. You know, MSI UGT, they're just like, alright, we have this game in the bag. Why overcommit with our DK? We'll just go for the sure win when DK responds. And then just win the game from there. And it's up to Apple Park to make a decision. Can we win this game? Well, Shadow Fiend, he's a carry who can do it, but I don't think he can do it against two carries. The Centaur pick just did not work out at all in this game. Centaur is such a good tri-lane dominator, but he couldn't kill the puck. He's not a strong pusher by himself unless he levels up return, which he was not expecting to do, and I don't blame him. Leveling up return is just like, what? So they couldn't get too many tower pushes going on, and Rubik and Earthshaker just did not perform very well. And I think it might be wise for teams when they're at a disadvantage to start leveling up their supports like Earthshaker, like Rubik, because they stayed at level 5 or level 4 or 5 for the first 15 minutes of the game. So very, very unfortunate. If they gank the Shalfin, it will be over as Puck blinks in. Dragonite going to take the fall as well. And if the Courier dies, they'll just be adding insult to injury. DK, very, very tanky, very, very buff at this point in the game. Meanwhile, they're going to do some split pushing with Weaver and Puck and Dragonite, the Double Dragon, which is a video game. A beat 'em up, not a Dota. As the Double Dragon's going to push that top lane pretty much solo. Meanwhile, the bottom lane can't be held by the Thrall, who has a gem, as level 2 of that ultimate, which just increases its damage by so much. That's a pretty ridiculous ultimate. Here comes the Glimpse, trapping the Earthshaker. This Earthshaker's just had a miserable time. Oh, 5-0. Actually, I thought he'd fed harder than that. But still. Beastmaster leads the game. GG gonna be called. Haha, says psst. As... Oh, well, that's annoying. Well, I mean, it was like 18-2 in the final score screen, so hopefully you'll excuse me. I mean, I thought, oh, the throne is going to be dying in a second, I'll pause then. But, I mean, you pretty much saw everything you need to see from the score screen before. 18-2 or 19-2 in favor of MSI UGT, playing a much different style than in Game 1, and Apple Park were clearly caught unawares. What should have Apple Park done different? Maybe switch up their tri-lanes, because Beastmaster was getting harassed so heavily. I think if Centaur wanted to, he could farm solo against a Puck. I mean, sure, I think if he took 1 point to return, then he would be able to farm solo against a Puck. That Weaver, Disruptor, Shadow Demon tri-lane is just way too much for that Beastmaster to deal with, and they just left Weaver to farm up. They got very early towers pushed, and meanwhile, I don't know, for some reason Earthshaker has just not been winning lately, and Puck has. So we'll see in the last game. I'm definitely going to bring you the last game of the series very, very shortly. So hopefully we'll see a very competitive game. These past two games have been pretty much one-sided, but we've definitely seen a clash of different styles. This game was much more clean by MSI UGT. They played it very, very nicely. So we'll see. Will we see a Puck ban? We should, because he's just been way too effective in this game. So thank you all for watching as usual, and have a fantastic day.